Colleen Hufford was 54 years old, and she was beheaded at an Oklahoma food processing plant called the Vaughn Foods Processing Plant. The suspect is believed to be 30-year-old Alton Alexander Nolen. Authorities say that he attacked the 54-year-old Hufford as well as 43-year-old Tracy Johnson. Johnson is said to be in stable condition in spite of numerous wounds. The incident ended when the company's CEO, who also happens to be an off-duty police sheriff's deputy, confronted Nolen and shot him twice. The attack happened very soon after Nolen learned that he had lost his job. Nolen had been incarcerated back in March of 2013 for possession of a controlled substance, escaping confinement, and resisting an officer. Nolen converted to Islam relatively recently. He had been trying reportedly to convert co-workers to Islam. On Facebook, he wrote a number of declarations related to his Muslim faith, including Sharia law is coming, alongside a picture of Pope Benedict. Charges against Nolen will include first-degree murder, assault with a deadly weapon, according to Jeremy Lewis, a spokesman for the Moore Police Department. U.S. law enforcement officials say there is nothing specifically linking this action in spite of the beheading and in spite of publicized recent beheadings by ISIS, and in spite of Nolen recently converting to Islam, that this was in any way linked to terrorism or a terrorist cell or anything other than a man acting alone. Yet again, Lewis, we do see religious extremism correlated with violence. This is, of course, very, very disturbing, and the right-wingers are understandably, as everybody is, very concerned about this specific incident, but right-wingers going further and saying that the sky is falling with regard to a Muslim Sharia takeover of the United States.
Of course, it's absurd to say that because of this one incident, but I do not feel comfortable leaving religion out of this conversation. I think that this is a factor here, and this conversion to Islam should be discussed. But it's a little overboard to say that the country is going to be taken over.
Yeah, certainly. And I want to be very clear that there is this tendency, and some people believe that Sam Harris is a complete Islamophobe. And we've talked about how Sam Harris has said, in spite of whether Sam Harris is an Islamophobe or not, Sam Harris has said, it should not be any more offensive to criticize Islam as a religion than it is to criticize Christianity as a religion when there are violent acts done by extremist members of any of those faiths. And I completely agree with that. While I don't agree with everything that Sam Harris says, we should be able, Lewis, to discuss radical religiosity, regardless of which religion it is connected to. And of course, if we're going to discuss that, we also have to talk about mental illness connected to this crime, which often is lingering there in the background or sometimes in the foreground as well. But of course we should be discussing that. And there shouldn't be allegations that simply because you discuss that, someone is being xenophobic, Islamophobic.
No, let's cover the whole picture here. It is this type of radicalization that has led to all sorts of different attacks and problems in this country. And you have to face that. You can't ignore it.
Send me your thoughts about this particular case. George Lakoff joins me next. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/dpakman.